we ask and you answer. This is Stephanie in the Morning, where locals take the mic. Your neighbor, your favorite shop owner, maybe you. Business, community, culture, and whatever's on your mind over coffee. Let's start the day together. Powered by Lemonade-O.
Hey,
Yes.
I'm super proud of that. All right,
yeah.
listen, let's just rip the Band-Aid off.
Yes.
It's Monday. It's cold. It's dark. We lost. That game
right.
was just awful to watch.
It was off. It was painful. I was so excited, and I thought Drake May had so much possibility, just did not work out for him. But Christian Gonzalez had a great.
He really
had
did.
a great game. So
Once again, the defense has been winning some serious games for us, but
Absolutely.
unfortunately, that game, the defense had to do their own job this time, not the offense's job.
right, yes. They
So.
didn't get any points for us on defense, but they did a great job either way.
And boy, I stepped into it hook, line, and sinker when all I wagered was my opinion during the halftime show of Bad Bunny felt like a Broadway musical. I loved it.
Okay, I missed it. I was busy getting dessert ready for the house guests, so I only caught the tail end of it.
Well, I immediately, most people did agree with me, but there was a lot of really negative people on social.
Oh.
And stuff that I was like, really? They're like, you're supposed to say that because you work for the man, Stephanie.
Oh my gosh.
I don't work for any men. I work for myself.
I feel like every halftime show just divides people for some reason.
Yeah, right?
Some reason.
So I laughed at him, and his response was, laugh all you want, because that's all you can do. Like when they tell us this is up and this is down and vice versa, they have people on the payroll push the message.
Right?
I'm like, you sound insane, sir.
Insane. Right. Yeah.
And it was not the only one. There were like several other people that were absolutely losing their mind about the Super Bowl halftime show because it was in Spanish.
Right.
I love Bad Bunny. I love my Peloton, and we had a Bad Bunny ride. Do I know what he's saying? No.
No.
Do I care? No.
No. It's fine.
It's a vibe.
Yeah.
It's got a good beat. Ricky Martin was out there. Lady Gaga was out there. I saw Pedro Pascal on like one of the scenes. I was like, this is a Broadway musical. And I loved every ounce of it.
Yeah.
So come for me all you want with your complaints about this is a disgrace, because it's not an English. It was a show.
It was a show. Everyone, like last year's halftime show, people were upset about. Like, I think it's a thing every year. Like, people
Right?
want to be upset about the halftime
Yeah,
show.
yeah. And it doesn't matter who it is. It's either liked or not.
Yes.
Someone's got a complaint. It's
Yeah.
50-50 every
50-50.
single year.
Yes.
Only this year they decided to make a separate Super Bowl concert, and I just can't wrap my brain around the crazy, but it's not why we're here today.
Right. That's true. Yeah, we're moving on. It's now the off season.
Right? What's up, Katie Kelly? Thanks for joining us on the show. We have nurse practitioner Jillian Martin on the show with us. And I want to call you doctor because I feel like a nurse practitioner does 11-5 more things than a doctor actually does.
Agreed. And in just a short time, I'm finishing my doctorate, actually. So
you'll
in
be a
December,
doctor.
You can call me doctor.
That's it.
Yeah.
This is one of the things that I really do appreciate, regardless of what you get your doctorate in, that you demand to be called doctor when you've
100%.
reached that
Yes.
space.
And then I'll be Doc Martin. So that's super exciting for me.
Fun fact about Jill, her and I met probably when I was 18. I was coming to the Cape visiting with a friend, and we were going to the Mill Hill Club to play pool. And
Yeah, I think we actually met before that because we met in Rhode Island. We were going to some under 21 club. And I was a hazy, like, what are we doing in this alley in Rhode Island?
Yeah.
Yeah, that it was. Yeah.
Right. I loved being a teenager at the time in which we grew up, like terrifying as being a mother
Thinking
to
about
children
it now.
of similar ages.
Under 21 club where I'm like, Mom, I'm going to the city, under 21 club, and maybe I'll see you tomorrow. I don't know.
We have fake IDs. We're fine.
We're fine.
And here we are, grown-up professionals doing what we do.
Right. Loving life, right?
Talk to me a little bit about Valen Medical first off.
Sure. So Valen Medical, my husband and I opened last year. We started in January getting all of like the behind the scenes. The impetus was I have a lot of people in my life who are struggling with hormone problems, family members included.
Yeah.
And there's just a huge gap in that amount of care, whether we're talking about menopause or andropause, which is the male version of menopause.
Oh, I like that. See,
Andropause.
things I'm learning.
Yeah. Or young ladies struggling with PCOS. Or
that is a new thing for me.
Yeah, it's huge. And my youngest patient actually is 15, and I treat her with hormones for PCOS.
So what is PCOS?
So polycystic ovarian syndrome, it usually presents as like obesity, lots of acne, irregular menstrual cycles, facial hair.
Yep.
So technically they have too much testosterone.
Okay.
And it causes them to have metabolic conditions. So their hormones are out of whack, their cycle is out of whack. Sometimes they really struggle to conceive when they get older.
These are conversations we've never had. And I'm so thankful that we're finally like, oh, that's what it is. Oh, here we are. That explains. Because I feel like we're always, as humans, struggling for a why.
A why, right.
For everything.
Yes.
Like, I need a diagnosis.
Yes.
Tell me what's wrong.
Yeah. And
because it's not crazy.
It's not crazy.
Right.
And that's honestly, that is like the number one sentence I hear from women is like, when they come and see me, we do their labs, we talk about what's going on with them. I tell them where their difficulties are coming from metabolically or hormonally. And they're like, so I'm not crazy. That's like the first thing they say to me. I'm like, you're not crazy.
Yeah.
They're like, why has my doctor been gaslighting me?
Yeah. Why has my family been telling me so many things are wrong with me?
Right. Like, are you hormonal? Probably.
The answer is yes.
Yes.
What's up, Kathy?
Yes.
Thanks for joining us, Robert. We have nurse practitioner Jill Martin in here, and we're talking about what Valen Medical does. So we were talking about PCOS, and then we're talking, what is the male version of
menopause? It's andropause.
Okay.
Andropause, yes. And men are easier to diagnose, right? They have the one hormone that's usually challenging for them, just testosterone. And they usually say, like, women say, I don't feel like myself. Men say, I've lost my edge.
Yeah.
Those are the two most common sentences I hear. Yeah. So, but they're easier to diagnose. It's, we look at some labs that are pretty straightforward for them. The women are more complicated, and women have hormonal problems from when they start getting their cycle until well after they stop. So that is much harder to manage.
So fun.
Right.
The ever-changing landscape of this science experiment I call my body.
Yes. What's today going to bring us?
Legit. Well, that's our question of the day today is like, what is the most difficult part of aging? And I laughed because Kelly over at Enchanted Florist was like, wondering which part of my body will hurt in the morning.
Yeah, that's when you know you're over 40, when you get sleep injuries, like from pulling up the covers, you pull a muscle in your arm.
Well, I think it was interesting. The first question you asked me when you came in was like, are you sleeping? And I do sleep well.
Yes.
And ever since, cause I go hard and then I'm done. I'm toast.
Me too.
I'm like a little boy when they're like 7, like go. I'm done.
And then crash.
That's it. So it was probably the last couple of plays of the Super Bowl. It was clear I was not going to win.
Right.
I took my magnesium and I was ready to go.
Magnesium is amazing. It does that. Yep. Calms everything down, which is lovely.
I had this one moment where I was out to dinner with a girlfriend and we were sitting at Blue and it was a very busy bar. And I was like, you want to know what my drug of choice? And the restaurant got quiet. And I was like, magnesium,
right.
okay?
Like, what drug is she doing? Can we have some? Absolutely, right on Amazon.
It's like, wait a minute. But there are different types of it.
Yes, so there's various ways that you can take magnesium. Like magnesium citrate is the one that's going to make you have lots of bowel movements. You don't want that at bedtime. Right? Magnesium glycinate is the one that kind of calms your muscles down. Calms your brain down. It's the one. Yeah.
It's my favorite.
Yeah. And then there's another one, magnesium L-threonate, which is really great for women in menopause.
See?
Yep.
You got to talk to Jill about all of these things going on because there are things out there. This is where I started my journey, and people are always like, you do so many different things, but they all are interconnected.
Yeah.
And it was when I was ill and I was trying to figure out how to eat better. Yes. Because what can I eat for my body to not feel so this, or when cancer treatment, and this real food is medicine. People forget that all the time. Right. We just had a big shakeup in the food pyramid. And I had this long conversation with my daughter yesterday about gut bacteria that I will not get those hours back. She's in nursing school.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Right.
So we had this, I listened to a podcast, The Diary of a CEO, and we were talking about all these microbiotics and all eating better and your gut health bugs. And so I'm trying this new thing that's basically like sprinkling microbes on your food.
Okay.
Whatever.
I mean, there's a lot to be said about a healthy gut microbiome. I
Yeah.
think it's just hard to figure out what that actually means.
Well, he scared the bejesus out of me because
Yeah.
everything's so accessible now. YouTube was not a thing when we were a kid.
Right.
And we couldn't
right.
just look up bad information and get all of it at once.
No, we had to go to the library and pull out an encyclopedia.
to find 20-year-old information that was just not accurate as to what we're learning.
Right.
So I was listening and he was just talking about how they've discovered that certain gut bacterias lead to dementia.
Yeah.
And like, that's why we're seeing dementia more.
Yeah.
And like it travels up your gut. And then once it hits your brain, that's it, you're done. Yeah. So can we stop this? Like, oh my God.
Well, there's a lot of science that calls dementia diabetes type 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because of just the way that people have metabolic impairment and they can't process carbohydrates and the food that we're taking is not actually nutritious. So, that makes a lot of sense.
This is where I got into my little rant. If you're wondering where my career choices have gone, the rabbit hole is where I found myself before Super Bowl yesterday at Bristol Aggie at an agricultural conference for all of Southeastern Massachusetts and New England. So,
I mean, it was probably interesting.
It was very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that kind of
and
stuff.
The amount of agencies that come together to like kind of, shape where your food is. And I had like the best drinkable yogurt from Westport Creamery. I'm probably going to have to drive to Westport and bring that to our farmers market because it's ridiculous and they don't sell it online.
Oh,
I know.
They won't deliver it?
That's what I was like,
Yeah.
but how much do I have to buy to get you to deliver it? Because I will.
I don't know. You could probably get a lot of people on board.
Right?
Yeah.
And it was like naturally flavored with actual vanilla bean or real strawberry extract.
Yeah.
And they had another maple one. And my son was like, kept going. I was like, you're going to be sick. You're lactose intolerant. You're okay. Whatever. You're making your own choices at 17, sir.
Yes. I think a lot of that happened yesterday, food choices at the Super Bowl and people probably suffering this morning.
But yeah, you're feeling crummy. I'm sure you have that conversation all the time when people think it's hormones or maybe it's this and you're like, what does your diet look like?
Always. I always ask that question. I have several patients who are like, listen, I don't ever want to talk about my diet. We're going to save that until we've covered all bases. If there's nothing else we can fix, then we'll talk about my diet.
Yeah.
Because it's very emotional for people.
Yeah.
Eating is a very emotional thing, whether it's anxiety related or depression related or just the way that they grew up with food. So I always ask about eating, but I don't always tackle it first because it's more emotional than other things.
Yeah. Andrew has a question. What's great protocol for muscle building? Peptides, testosterone, ? Diet, ? I need to have a Speedo body by summer.
Now's the time, Andrew.
Get to work, Andrew.
Yes. So the answer to that, all of that is yes to all of it. Testosterone is going to certainly give you the most bang for your buck if you're deficient, right?
Okay.
If you're not deficient, then it's like just doing drugs.
Yeah.
Like running a cycle of steroids, right? So which we don't necessarily advocate. Peptides are great. I do a lot of peptides in my clinic. We have some growth hormone analogs that can help with muscle growth. It depends on where you're starting.
Yep.
Right. If you're like skinny, have never had muscle, then it's diet, right?
Yeah.
You need way more calories and quality calories than you're thinking. If you've had muscle in the past and it's kind of gone now, it's probably a testosterone deficiency.
That's where my life is.
Yeah.
Every single time I'm like, I was a very muscular, I was in the military. I was very muscular female.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden it's being replaced by jiggly. I was like, where are you, muscle?
Yeah. Well, honestly, I think it's surprising to most of the women that come to my clinic that they need testosterone.
Yeah.
Right? I have not encountered a single female patient who comes to me. And granted, many of them are coming to me as a last resort.
Yeah.
Right? So they know something's wrong. Almost every single patient is deficient in testosterone.
I'm taking care of that. Valen Medical was like, Jillian, speak closer into your microphone.
Thank you.
I'm fixing that, right?
Thank you.
We've all little helpers out here. So frequently asked questions and myths. You've got this list right here, and I would love to just jump into that. And anybody out there, if you've got questions for Jill, please reach out and just drop it in the chat. But also, how do people get a hold of you?
Yeah, so valenmedical.com is the website. Admin@valenmedical.com is the email. I'm fairly certain my husband just created us a Facebook page.
Yeah, I think that's where he's chatting with us from.
Oh, great. Fabulous.
Good work,
I love that.
husband.
Yes. I have no idea how to access it because I don't have any social media myself. So if you have social media, you can probably find it faster than I could.
I love it. Is that by design?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I had social media, I don't know, maybe a decade ago.
Yeah.
I don't even remember. And it just didn't resonate with me.
Yeah.
It was like a time sucker and it felt kind of icky. And then my kids were at a very impressionable age,
Yeah.
you know, and I got rid of it because I knew it wasn't for me. And then I've been able to kind of hold that standard for my kids of like, you don't need social media after you turn 18, if that's your choice.
Yeah.
But at 14, no, you don't need it. You know, so I was able to like lead by example, and I'm just happier not being on it.
Yeah. You're doing yourself a favor for sure.
Yeah.
Now, what's your husband's role in the business?
He does everything.
I love that.
Everything except see the patients.
Okay.
Yeah. So he built the website. He designed the flyer. He designed our website. He does all the intake
Tech and arts department.
Yes. Everything. He painted the walls in the office. So construction.
It's so lovely. I also have a spouse that is very, very involved in everything that I do. And I'm so thankful to have a partner.
Yes.
That we complement each other so
Yes,
well. And I'm like, when I'm not there, I'm like, tag, you're it.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like, you know, he calls the patients, he sets the appointments, he orders the labs. Like we have templates, so there are some easy things to do, but he does everything. And I'm so grateful that he does that. So he created the Facebook page. He made it live recently, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll definitely and then drop it in the chat. But yeah, your husband's already dropped the link. So you're on top of things.
Great.
I love it. What's his name, by the way?
Oh, his name is Eric.
Eric, thank you very much for all of that.
In my phone, he's Eric the Great.
He's proving to be so this morning.
Absolutely.
Hi, Thomas. Hey, Crystal. We are talking to Jill about Valin Medical and everything that they're doing. A girlfriend of mine I just sent your way because she's 60. She's had some body shifts. She realized she was full on diabetic. It wasn't two, it was diabetic.
Yes.
She has been dealing with for a very long time. And then all of a sudden, when she got older, everything has changed.
Everything. Yeah.
And now, you know, she's got some other issues going on and her doctor will not talk to her about her hormones.
That's so sad. You know, unfortunately, we have decades of people, patients, and providers. There was one study done in the early 2000s called the Women's Health Initiative that took older women, like past menopause, like a decade past menopause, put them on synthetic hormones. And then lo and behold, they developed worse cardiac conditions and cancer.
Great.
So like literally the next day after that study was published, every doctor was like, I'm taking you off your hormones. We're not going to prescribe them again. Since that time, that study has shown many flaws, including that synthetic hormones, like any synthetic drug, can be pro-inflammatory, meaning they're going to cause more inflammation in your body. Bioidentical hormones, which mimic your natural hormones, do not do those things.
Okay.
They're not pro-inflammatory. They don't cause cardiac disease. They don't cause cancer. Even if you're BRCA positive, even if you're at risk for breast cancer, that doesn't happen. So I only prescribe bioidentical hormones, but we have decades of doctors who heard about this study.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm not going to do it. I don't want people to get cancer. So we have decades of patients that were told they can't have hormones.
That makes a lot more sense because I'm always wondering, you know, why it's so hard to stay on top of your education. And, you know, I can talk for 3 days about why our healthcare system is broken. We're not going to get there.
Right. Same. Yeah. This could be a week-long conversation.
Correct.
Yeah,
that's just a regular series we jump into. That's a full-on separate podcast. But it makes sense why the trigger shy about having that hormonal conversation.
Yeah.
I think inflammation is a thing that we're hearing and talking about a lot more.
A lot. Yeah, absolutely. And we just have a very inflammatory environment. And I try not to be super esoteric about it, but all of the chemicals in our laundry detergent, our soil is deficient, which you probably learned about at the agricultural conference, right? We just have a lot of estrogen chemicals in our environment that are just inflammatory in men and women. Yeah. So it's hard.
But having that dialogue with my family, having that dialogue with 17-year-olds, but having it with my husband, I'm like, we're not doing that anymore because of this. And they're like, but why? And then I'm like, because of this, but why? And this continues forever. And it's just little shifts we're making, like less plastics and like changing in what we're putting food in and how we're handling things and how we're growing things and what we're looking at in the food. It really is. It's a full-time job. So I do understand why we're not really set up for success here.
Yes.
And this could be a small thing you can make.
Small changes, not even hormone related, but like a simple one, which is just don't microwave your food in a plastic container.
Yeah. I got rid of the microwave.
Yeah. Ours is in the basement.
I'm like, I'm done.
If we want to microwave, it's like a journey.
We had an incident in my house fairly recently where my ex-husband sent my daughter home with one of those big jugs of Portuguese wine, and it was frozen in the car and then brought it in the house. She literally brought in a bomb. It exploded in my kitchen and blew up the microwave. She called me and she goes, Mom, I think we have ghosts. I was like, girl, do you not know how science works?
I love that.
We had ghosts. So
is it ghosts or is it science?
The microwave blew up and I said, fine, I don't use it anyway. And you know what? It doesn't need to happen. And so my son felt like he was paralyzed. I don't even know how to heat things. And I'm like, aren't you in culinary? I said, so I literally called chef at the high school and I was like, can you teach these kids how to warm things and reheat things without using the damn microwave? Figure it out.
Yeah. So that's just a simple way to get rid of some endocrine disrupting hormones that might happen in our lives. Yeah.
It's just the little things sometimes. So I live without that anymore. We're fine. We'll make it.
Yeah, you'll make it.
Hi, Cheryl. If you've got questions for Doc Jill, please, I'm going to be calling you. I cannot wait for Doc Martin so soon. Nurse Practitioner Jill, please drop them in the chat. So inflammation is a huge conversation we're having, and a lot of it's environmental. So if there are little things that we can do to reduce that, it will. Protein is another word that we're being bombarded with.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I feel like it's because of the GLP-1 conversation that we're all like, eat your protein. And everyone from Subway to every commercial you're watching on TV is jamming protein down your throat.
Yes.
And that's why, right?
Yes. Okay. It's super exciting for me because I've been tracking my food forever, right? So getting protein has always been
like, my time to shine.
Right, here we go. Let's talk about macros, which is like my daughter's least favorite conversation.
No one wants to talk about it.
I know. She's like, can we not talk about macros, please? But it's great because when you're on a GLP, whether you're on it for weight loss, diabetes, congestive heart failure, sleep apnea, I treat a lot of my young patients with like endometriosis or PCOS with a microdose of a GLP because it reduces all that inflammation.
Gotcha.
But it is so hard to get anything in. Right. We have this like line where you don't want to eat, you're nauseous, so you're not eating anything. And you kind of want like that Sunday or Monday hangover food.
Yeah, like carbs.
Yeah, you want the carbs. So then no one's getting in their protein. So then they're losing their muscle mass.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's why the protein conversation is very heavy. But on the flip side of that, we have this point where you can, what we call eat through your GLP-1, where it's like you just push through that nausea. You just push through that, like, my stomach doesn't like that food.
Our bodies are pretty incredible.
They are pretty incredible.
Like, no, we'll do what we want.
And they're like, I'm not losing any weight. I'm like, because when you're starting to feel nauseous or you don't feel well, you need to pay attention to what your body's telling you. Yeah. So protein is huge because you will get muscle wasting when you take a GLP if you don't get your protein in.
Gotcha. Yeah. All of a sudden just started like everybody was all about protein. And I'm like, why? And then now a little research does crazy actually. Rabbit holes of my life. If my labs are normal, my hormones can't be the problem.
Yeah, that is probably the first thing that people say to me. So unfortunately, again, I'm the last resort for a lot of people. They've gone to their primary, they've gone to a urologist, they've gone to a gynecologist, and the doctors all say, well, if you're still getting your period, it's not menopause. Or it's not perimenopause, which is not true. Or they draw labs, and men especially, they're like, oh, well, your testosterone is normal. You're fine. It's not the problem, right? Normal testosterone, when you look at like a Quest lab reference range for men, is like 250 to 800, which is 250 is wildly low. So if someone's 251
They're normal.
They're normal.
Okay.
Right. But massively symptomatic, right? They have no drive. They have stubborn abdominal fat. They're falling asleep in the afternoon. They have low motivation. It's not even about libido or erections. It's about life, right?
Yeah.
Quality of life. And then, normal for me when I look at labs is 800 to 1200. Wildly different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 250 is like very dangerously low.
Yeah. So we need someone to scrutinize the labs a little bit better.
And unfortunately, again, another podcast we should probably create, the healthcare system is broken,
Yeah.
right? So the doctors, they pick up the labs and they've got 30 patients in a day, right? And they see everything in the green.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, you're fine. That your symptoms must be depression. So they start them on an SSRI, or you need to lose weight, or you need to exercise. And those things might be true.
Yeah.
But there are other things that could be addressed.
Shout out to my concierge medical associates over at Veritas. I very much appreciate you and the time that you devote to me. I do pay for it, and it is worth every dime.
Yeah. A lot of people are moving that way because they want to feel heard.
Yeah.
Right? And they don't. I think
But I want just the time. I want it. My husband, who is a hypochondriac, and I love him to pieces, and he will literally be in the driveway. I'm like, who are you on the phone with for an hour? He's like, Will. I'm like, the doctor's office? Leave them alone. It's like, leave Will alone.
Oh my gosh. Well, if he's getting what he wants out of
He
it,
is.
though,
He
that's
is.
perfect.
He's not the
That's
ideal
perfect.
patient. It's like, you're the one that's dragging these numbers down as we're looking at the bottom
Right.
line,
You have
sir.
one patient who needs 10 minutes and they're like, okay, let's save this extra spot.
Correct.
Yes.
Just for Cliff.
Just for Cliff.
I'm like, what's up, Dave Hagner? Thanks for joining us. Joanne, Kathy, if you've got questions, Michelle, please ask Jill, because she's a wealth of knowledge and we're so lucky to have her. And I would love for you to come back on the regular and
I
just
would love
talk
that.
about some
Yes.
stuff. I've got girlfriends right now that are swearing by this patch.
Probably an estrogen patch would be my guess.
Okay.
Yeah. If it's a different patch, anybody can chime in and I'm happy to speak on that. So when you start having hot flashes in perimenopause, everyone thinks it's an estrogen problem. And that's true, but it's usually your estrogen is wildly high,
Okay.
not low.
Okay.
So when someone is in perimenopause, meaning they're still getting a menstrual cycle, even if it's irregular, I don't even bother to check estrogen levels unless I'm concerned they have something else going on. Because if I checked your labs today, Stephanie, your estrogen could be 5.
Yep.
I could check it tomorrow, and tomorrow you're having hot flashes and you're feeling kind of wild. It could be 500.
Okay.
It's not a valuable number when you still get your menstrual
Curious.
cycle. Yeah.
Okay.
So when someone's in perimenopause with hot flashes, we can treat it with testosterone and progesterone. So it's not just an estrogen problem, but the patch is great for people that need estrogen, because then they don't have to take a pill if they don't want to.
Yeah.
And they don't have to put a cream on. So that is a valid option for estrogen.
Okay. And we're like, let's talk about hormones for just a little bit, because
Absolutely.
you just said that swing 5 to 500
Yeah.
every single day is different.
It is.
How is it possible to manage all of this?
So it's interesting because everybody is different and menopause looks different. You know, I'm sure you've had conversations where older women are like, oh, I didn't even know I went through menopause.
Yeah.
And everyone's mad at them because
Yeah.
they're like,
Right.
I'm still suffering with hot flashes and night sweats.
Exactly.
So they're just
20 years I've been
Yeah.
here.
and they're like just
Right?
constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting because there's no direct path that you could predict for everyone. Starting after age 25, women, their progesterone, which is our calming
We
hormone.
get some shit. We get the worst.
The worst, the worst. Progesterone is our calming hormone. It's our grounding hormone. It's the one that prevents anxiety. And testosterone are on a nice, slow, steady trajectory of a decline.
Okay.
Okay. So starting after age 25, it's just kind of putting along down and would eventually get to 0.
Okay.
Okay. Or like super low. Estrogen is like an almost empty ketchup bottle. Okay. So it's like it's in there and you're trying to get it out and nothing comes out, and then it all comes out, and then nothing comes out and it all comes out.
Okay.
So estrogen is just kind of a mess until it also goes to 0.
Okay.
But in the meantime, that's where the hot flashes come. That's where the cold flashes come. So it's kind of wild.
I don't even know how to navigate any of all of this. And I'm sure if you're just starting this journey, please reach out to Jill and talk to her.
Yes.
Like, what does a normal intake look like for you?
So a normal intake, they call or message the business line. We take texts as well. and they say I'm interested, and then Eric will call them and get them set up as a patient. They'll get a link to their portal. I will send them a lab slip.
Yeah.
They get their labs done at Quest. That's who I currently have a contract with locally. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, my girlfriend Cindy went through the process, and she's like,
yeah.
"Oh, I got all my blood taken. Now I just await my results."
Yeah. Morning is best to get results because that's when your hormones are at their peak.
Okay.
Right? So we want to see what it looks like. And then once the labs result to me, which can take anywhere from 3 days to 7 days, depending on timing, then we set them up for a full intake. They come into the office, or we can do telehealth. And it's a 60-minute appointment.
Yeah.
We go through, I talk about all of their symptoms first, because really that's what matters more.
Yeah.
Right. When I look at labs, it's kind of like, those bumper guards you put up when you bring your kids bowling.
Yep.
That's what labs are. It's like keeping us within this like kind of curvy window, but it doesn't decide everything.
Okay.
The symptoms decide everything.
Yeah.
So I look at how it compares. What does it look like? And then we talk about, how's your thyroid? How's your estrogen? How's your progesterone? How's your sleep? How's your diet? How's your libido? And then we come up with a treatment plan based on what's most important to them.
Yeah.
Because it's not my journey. It's their journey.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
So if their testosterone is super low and their libido is low, but to them, the most important thing is their sleep, then we prioritize progesterone.
Ah.
Yeah, so it's whatever their symptom that is most troubling for them.
If you've got questions, please reach out, because I feel like I want to like pick your brain. So good at diagnosis. Have you always been like this?
I'm kind of geeky and a nerd, and
Yeah.
I really love science.
Yeah.
So I do a deep dive into everything that I'm passionate about, and this is just so exciting for me. I could talk about it all day.
Well, I mean, because when you get that chemistry right, you change people's lives.
Yes.
And that's a rush. That's a high. You're chasing that.
Yeah. And I like, I've done lots of different types of medicine, some very broad in scope, and this is really narrow, but important. And I really like having the time and ability to focus on this one thing.
Well, I'm really glad that you've got a brick and mortar. I feel like there are a lot of people that need to know that they've got that place that they can go to. Yes, we are moving towards telehealth and telemedicine. It is the convenience factor for sure. But there are some people that just still want to go to the office.
Yes. Absolutely.
And have that space. So where are you located?
So we're located in Marston's Mills. We're right at the 4-way stop sign where the fire station is. I don't know what the plaza is called, but it's Lovell's Lane.
Yep.
And it's a little 2-room office. We have a front waiting area and then my office. And, I set it up intentionally to be more like this, more conversation.
Yeah.
Than like, I don't have an exam table because that's not what I do.
Yeah.
Right. We're going to have a conversation. We're going to talk about your life and see how you feel. I have extra seats because if a husband and wife want to come together because they want each other to feel well, I want them to come together.
Yeah. Do you see that often?
I haven't had anyone come in together, but I do have a lot of patients where I'm treating one of the spouses and they're like, I think my spouse would should come see you.
You go be the one that does the work. And then when you get better, I will do that too.
Yes, absolutely.
That's usually how it happens though. It's a friend, it's word of mouth.
Yes.
It's those conversations where it's like, why are you looking and feeling so good? I want some.
I want to feel that way. Yeah.
How do we get that done?
Yes. And word of mouth, honestly, prior to social media was like, that's my biggest thing. Like I'm in the community. I'm a member of this community. I want my community to feel well.
Yeah.
That's how word of mouth is huge for me.
Well, I'm definitely thankful that you're such a good resource to have in our community for sure. And I'm looking forward to working with you a little bit because obviously we all need to get a little bit better. And I would love to do a few things on myself that I'm like, all right, we're talking, she's speaking my language right now.
Yeah.
And I feel like every woman hits that wall where you're just like, okay, I need professional help.
Yeah.
I need a little guidance.
Yeah. I mean, I even advocate, if you think there might be something wrong, it doesn't hurt to check your labs.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you need to proceed with treatment, but it might give you a good baseline.
What are signs that you feel like women ignore? I feel like we are the worst because we're putting ourselves last all of the time and we'll get to it when we get to it.
Yes.
And then sometimes it's just, now it's a problem.
Now it's a problem. So I think the hot flashes obviously are very common. People know that symptom, but there are a lot of strange symptoms in menopause and perimenopause, like frozen shoulder is like a menopause symptom.
What is frozen shoulder?
They call it like 50-year-old shoulder.
Really?
Yes. So women just get like shoulder problems as they age. And it's because one of the number one lubricating things in our joints is hormones.
Huh.
So if you have chronic joint pain and it's not related to obesity, it's probably hormone related.
Interesting.
Dry eyes is another super common symptom of menopause. If you've never had it in your life and then you're like, my eyes are itchy and they're dry and I don't know what's wrong. It's because we have estrogen receptors in our eyes.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's like almost every symptom could be attributed, to menopause or perimenopause. And then we have symptoms we don't see, like the structure of your bones.
Yeah.
Right? So going on hormones will help with that, but you're not going to feel that benefit. But,
yeah.
Hip fracture is one of the leading causes of death in women as we age, because you fall, you break your hip, you need surgery, you end up in a nursing home, and then there's a downward trajectory.
Like that is honestly my worst nightmare.
Yeah, it's super common. You need hormones for bone health. So that's super important.
Yeah, I'm getting a text message to how to get a hold of you already. So
that's perfect. Yes. I'm happy. And honestly, I'm happy to have any conversation like this.
Well, it's funny because I belong to this women's group, and you should definitely probably come and have a conversation with Cape Cod women over 50, and we'll get together for coffee and we'll connect with each other. And it's always like, I've got this, you've got that. What is your problem? And I never thought I would be here. At what I feel like is a much younger age than our parents were.
I agree.
Having this conversation.
Agree. Yes.
And I don't know whether it's because we're in it or I just, for whatever reason, when I look at photos, even of my grandmother, and I was like, she was only 40. Like, we look at the Golden Girls. They were only in their 50s.
55. Betty White was supposed to be 55. That's wild.
Right. And we're looking at these grandma, because we were put out to pasture. We didn't live that long.
Yes. Well, that's what Mother Nature does. And the goal of hormone replacement is to trick Mother Nature.
Yeah. But just looking at Jennifer Aniston last night at the Super Bowl commercials.
Yes.
And bitch hasn't aged at all. I don't know what she's doing with her life, but it's not olive oil.
I think
okay.
Pilates. Is that the keys?
Pilates and Botox. I don't know what it's working for her though.
Yes.
You saw all the guys looking really aged, and then you see Jennifer Aniston who looks the same. And I was like, I can't.
Yeah. That's hard. It's hard. And we have people hitting perimenopause earlier than 2 generations
Is
ago.
that environmental?
Yes. It's environmental. It is. Yeah. And the way we live, I mean, we're not outside. We're not getting as much sunshine. We're looking at screens. We're sitting at a desk. They're not.
Oh my God, my hump has gotten so bad because I'm now doing desk, right?
Yeah.
I was never this way ever. And all of a sudden I'm like, what? Oh my God, I'm becoming my grandmother.
Well, and it's also super cold, right? We're like this because it's freezing.
Yeah.
Like we need to, sit up a little bit.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Something about it.
Yeah.
What are some small changes we can make without having to go and be crazy? Oh my God, that is why my eyes have been burning. And I feel like I have a hunchback. Michelle, join the club. This is an eye awakening moment.
Yes.
I know it's tough to have, and a hangover, need to be rehydrated Monday.
Right.
But here we are having these conversations because I think it's good to know that these are just not, oh, that's weird, symptoms that last now years.
Years.
Before we do anything about it.
Yeah. And honestly, if you go to your primary doctor and you're like, my eyes are dry, they're going to be like, use some eye drops.
Yeah, right?
They're not going to be like, oh, you must be in menopause.
Yeah.
That's not what they're going to say.
Does TRT cause cardiac issues or any other health concerns?
I love that question. So, no. So it's very common that is a myth that a lot of primary care doctors and urologists and cardiologists will hang on to, because the old way of dosing testosterone was a really big amount.
Yep.
Like once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And testosterone does increase your red blood cells. So when you give it in a really big dose, you're going to increase your red blood cells, which means your blood gets thicker, which could lead to high blood pressure, stroke, or heart attack.
Okay.
Right? That's not how we dose it, right? We dose it frequently throughout the week in smaller amounts to not only mimic your body's own natural production, but we keep those cardiac issues from happening.
Okay.
Yeah. So and honestly, this past summer, the FDA removed that black box warning from testosterone. So it's not even a thing anymore.
Gotcha.
Just not everyone is caught up to that. So
well, and also, I mean, you should not be doing this on your own. That
Yes.
is a little bit scary, where we
is.
feel like just because we watched a YouTube video on it, we can now be our own doctor.
That's a thing. People.
I know.
Yes.
I've seen it.
Yes. Yeah. It's very common. And honestly, like bro science, like the gym guys, and they kind of paved the way though.
Yeah.
For a lot of this testosterone replacement, because they did decades of self-experiment experimentation.
Yeah.
So
You're like, thanks, guys.
Thank you. So we have
They're no longer here with us,
yes,
but
because they had a heart attack.
yeah, it's true.
Yes. So, we do have some information from that, but no, cardiac issues when dosed correctly, right? And I like to say the right hormones for the right people at the right time.
Okay.
When you do it correctly, cardiac issues don't happen from testosterone.
Okay.
Yeah. You might have underlying cardiac issues anyway, especially if you have untreated sleep apnea, which is the number one issue that a lot of patients have.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's the best thing was my husband got that hose. I sleep so much better now. I'm like, whatever it is, I love that.
Yes.
But then he lost a bunch of weight. Now he doesn't need it anymore. It's wild.
It is wild, which is so cool. I mean, that's the goal. Doctors always say like, okay, let's lose some weight so you don't have to have a CPAP. But that's a hard thing for people to do.
Yeah.
So the CPAP is, going to keep you from having a stroke.
Right. I'm so glad you're going to live
so
longer.
glad.
You're going to have to take care of me in my wheelchair.
And then if you get on hormones, you guys will have a very long life.
We're working on it. We had our children early, and now I feel like we're finally at a point in our life where we can do the fun things and enjoy our lives and the space in which we want to. Hopefully, if they ever move out and take care of themselves, but it's not looking likely because of our economy. That's a whole nother conversation.
Whole nother podcast. Yes.
But we're finally at this space where I was like, I want to go enjoy these things. I want to go to Machu Picchu this year because I can still walk. I can still climb mountains and not die, right?
Yes. That's the beauty of it. Like when you live a life that's thoughtful about longevity, you can do those things.
Yeah. But I feel like we're finally having that conversation. I don't think it was ever a regular thing that we talked about.
Yeah. I think people who had the longevity conversation even 7 years ago were weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
You're like, oh God, here we go. We're talking about longevity again. And they're like, drink red wine or eat blueberries or
biohacking is regular out loud conversations now.
It is.
Where that was never a conversation.
Right. It's nice though. It's like, you can only biohack something that's biologically based. So, if you don't have a problem, you can't biohack it.
Interesting. See, hear that, nerds?
Oh, I'll get pushback on that for sure. They're going to be like, she doesn't know anything about biology.
You're allowed to have opinions, bro science. You're welcome. What's up, Weston? Thanks for joining us. Good morning, Lauren. Thank you so much for joining us. We've got Jillian Martin in the studio today and her new practice. Well, you've been open since almost a year, right?
Yeah. We've been open a year. We started all that like behind the scenes paperwork this time last year, which was a pain. And then getting contracts with pharmacies and labs, also probably my biggest pain point. Yeah. And then we took our first patient the first week in May.
Can we talk a little bit about the business? Because I'm going to wear my Chamber of Commerce hat.
Yes.
Running a business in 2026 and like how hard that is, that portion. Yeah. When you just want to do the work that you do. When you just want to do
the work. Yeah. Yes. 100%. I think I'm super lucky because I have Eric, number one. Number two is I spent 20 years of my healthcare career in operations.
Yeah.
So I have some idea of how it's supposed to go. But, when you're starting out and you're like, hormones are scary and exciting. And then you're like, okay, why can't I get in touch with the pharmacy?
Yeah.
You can't even get to the fun, exciting stuff because I spend half my day putting out fires of like, my medical record's not working, or I need to troubleshoot, I need to create this, or the pharmacy is no longer shipping to Massachusetts because Massachusetts has ridiculous laws. And like, so overcoming those hurdles take up way more time.
Honestly, it's an inordinate amount of time
to
get you to not be able to work in your business or do the things you need to do for your business because you're putting out fires all day. And then the week is over and then you're like, I got one thing done.
One thing, right. One thing done.
One thing done this week. So I always start Monday, high hopes, great intentions, happiness. I like work. I like what I do for a living.
I do too. Yeah, I do too. I love it.
It's enjoyable. Not everybody gets to have that.
Yes.
But when you're bogged down in the minutia of a CRM or something that's not functioning.
Yeah.
So business owners, entrepreneurs, everybody out there, I just want to let you know, start the week off with great intentions and I will try and uplift lift you best by the weekend.
I think that's a great plan. And honestly, as like a small business owner, I think one of the most important things, or harness AI is probably a good,
that's a scary conversation.
Oh, for sure. But in simple ways, like I'm creating a standard operation procedure for what happens when we answer the phone, right? So I can use AI for that.
Yeah.
I talk through the process, types it out. I go through and I make sure it's correct. Using AI for other things is a little sketchy and polarizing, for sure. But things like that, I think you can harness. Instead of it taking 12 hours, it could take 1.
Yeah. I was in a classroom full of farmers yesterday. That was a very scary word that was uttered, and everyone was like,
I bet.
Like, okay.
Yes. Yeah, they don't want jobs taken away. And
trust me, no one's ever going to want to do the work that a farmer does. God bless the people that are actually making that science conversation happen without the Monsantos of the world, without the garbage that was injected into our food systems to begin with.
Yeah.
I could go on a tangent for days.
Yes.
RTB Sherry, thanks for joining us. Cape and Islands, hello. Thank you for joining us on the show this morning. We are talking to Jill about hormones and some small things that we can do. So we've got the list of, okay, you've gone in to see you, you've had the blood work done, you've put the bumpers up, you're meeting with these people, you've got a week or two. How long is a reasonable amount of time to feel better? Because I think that's what people get really frustrated about.
Absolutely.
Because it's not exact science.
It's not. And I wish it were, right? We're using exact science, but everyone is different. And sometimes it depends on how long you've been feeling bad.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a pregnancy. When you gain weight, everyone's like, how long will it take to lose the weight?
How long did it take you to get it?
Right. Exactly. So it's
frustrating.
Sometimes that same conversation with men, it's much easier.
Yeah.
Within 8 weeks.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. I know. But then that's lovely. They can move on.
Yeah. I guess. My husband's like got a new lease on life. He's like decided he wants to be an accountant now, has been taking accounting classes. I was like, you lost 60 pounds and you're going to be an accountant. Now you're leaving me?
I mean, is he still funny?
He's still funny.
Okay,
We're
that's
fine.
That's fine. As long as he's still funny.
He's still funny. We're fine. He's not going anywhere. I'm not worried about it. But everybody else was like, red flags.
Accountant? I don't think that's a red flag.
Not worried about it. I'm teasing him because I love him and I'm allowed to.
That's right. 100%.
But I think it gets really frustrating when you've adopted a new protocol and you've got these high expectations of something to work immediately. Yeah. And unfortunately, women, nothing works immediately for us.
No. I've had a few women when they start progesterone, again, which is our calming hormone, and they're not sleeping, they're not falling asleep, and they're not staying asleep. They start progesterone. And they're like, oh my God, I'm sleeping. And they'll feel that relatively fast.
Nice.
The estrogen is a little different because we don't know how long you've been deficient, and maybe your ovaries are still making a little bit. So then it kind of messes it up. So about 8 weeks is the window before I make any dose adjustments.
Okay.
So I say, give it 8 weeks, see how you feel. Maybe you feel 10% better. That's okay. Hang in there. The long range is within a year. Men tend to be optimized.
Okay.
8 weeks, they're feeling some improvement. By 6 months, they're seeing changes in their body composition. By a year, they have the improvements of libido, body composition change, mood changes, energy changes. Women take a little longer to dial in, but it's because we're titrating 3 hormones, not just one.
Gotcha.
So that takes a little bit longer.
Aches, pains, like how long is a typical thing where maybe that shoulder thing or maybe your dry eyes?
Yeah, probably about 10 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, we can do this. You could feel better in a couple of months.
Yeah.
And be able to focus on something else. That's a problem.
Absolutely. And some people are scared of hormones.
Yeah.
Right. That word can be very scary for a lot of people. So we have a lot of ways to overcome that. Like a simple one, and I'm not saying everybody should do this, but like putting estrogen cream on your face.
Okay.
Is totally fine. Right. It says vaginal.
Sidebar. My girlfriend got these for vaginal use only stickers, and she gave me like a whole row of them. She goes, put them on everything. Just see what people's faces look like.
I need one for my water bottle.
If you're not having a good time with life, go back to bed.
Yeah, go back to bed.
Go back to bed.
Yeah, but estrogen cream is safe for 99.9% of the population.
Okay.
Right. Even if you're 10 years postmenopause, even if you've had breast cancer, not everybody wants to put it on their vagina.
Yeah, right.
You know, there are benefits to putting it there, but you know, the younger patients who are like, I can see the aging here.
Yeah,
and
right.
I had Botox and I still see the aging here.
Yeah.
Let's put some estrogen.
There you
on
go.
your
Go
face.
for it, girl.
Helps, you know, gives it some collagen, gives it some elasticity, gives it some youthful look.
Yeah.
Put it on your face.
I love this. Some other fun tips and tricks, Jill.
So even if you read the container and it says vaginal, here's fine too.
Cindy, all of the cream. What is sleeping through the night? Question mark.
Right. That is a huge one. Sleeping through the night. It's like you have a baby.
Yeah.
And then you're up and you're down and you're up and you're down. And like,
well, and then also add in the stress of being an entrepreneur, which Brandy is.
Yes.
Shout out to our friends over at Herbivore Patisserie, our vegan baker.
Yeah.
But yeah, like she does have a baby.
Oh, right. It's everything.
Right?
Yeah.
So what do you suggest for better sleep?
So barring hormones, which can certainly help with sleep, magnesium glycinate is huge, or magnesium L-threonate is another one. It's just another version of magnesium. Another one is glycine powder.
Okay.
So it's an amino acid. It comes in this giant bag and you're like, and the dose is it's like a third of a teaspoon. And you're never going to.
Like I'm not doing drugs.
I mean, if you put it in a white
acids.
baggie,
it's my amino acids.
Tastes a little sweet.
Hysterical.
Yeah, they say mix it in water, but the amount is so small, it's easier to just dry scoop it and then just swig down the water. Because otherwise, you're trying to drink a bunch of water before bed and then you're up peeing, right? That's not helpful. Melatonin is huge. Like I know that can be also polarizing, but I like melatonin even in really high doses.
See, I feel so hungover when I have it.
Yeah, so then you shouldn't have it.
Yeah,
some people don't
have
feel that way. If you get groggy on 3 milligrams, you're going to get groggy on any. Like it's not dose dependent. It's just person dependent.
Gotcha.
But it is an anti-cancer supplement, which is huge. Like I take a lot of melatonin, mostly for the anti-cancer properties.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah, it's a great.
My son was asking me about soluble creatine. Is this something a 17-year-old boy should be having?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Creatine for everybody.
All right.
Yeah.
These are the questions I wanted to ask him. My husband's like, no. And I was like, well, I have
questions.
Jillian on the show tomorrow and I will ask her.
Yeah. So I have 4 supplements that I think everybody should take. And I'm going to say this is not medical advice, right? This is just like, if you do your own research, see what's right for you, what resonates with you. Magnesium, one of them, fish oil, the other, vitamin D, because we're all deficient in vitamin D.
Yeah.
And creatine.
Okay.
Like my kids take those.
Say it one more time.
Yeah. Magnesium, vitamin D, fish oil, and creatine.
That's what you need to be having just to change a little bit.
Yeah.
And how do people reach out to you once again if they are like, everything resonated with me? I have questions. I want to come and see you.
Absolutely. It's valenmedical.com or the email is admin@valenmedical.com. Again, the Facebook page, I think
It's there.
It's
I'm going to be dropping it in the chat, but at least the website is on there.
Yeah, I don't know how to find it, but
we'll get you there, Jill. We will get you there.
Yes.
Creatine is great for brain function and everyone.
Yes.
Hey, Kathy, thanks for joining us. Oh, and that's your accountant. Yeah. Don't even get me started at the accounting of things. You can manage the money so you can't. Exactly. Tell Jill she's a boss. Absolutely.
Yes,
I will.
thank you. I love that.
Energy. Low energy levels.
Okay. So could be hormones.
Okay.
Could be not enough nutrition, right? High carb diet will give you a small burst of energy, but won't sustain you. You need protein. Back to the protein.
Yeah, I know.
Sleep. And then mental exhaustion is a real thing.
Okay.
Whether that's from too much screen time or too much time doing things that we don't find joy in, right? Spreading yourself thin. So exhaustion comes from so many places. Fatigue is usually an iron deficiency. And I've had a lot of people very iron deficient recently.
Yeah.
So, and eating red meat doesn't resonate with everyone. So taking a good iron supplement is great. There's some that don't cause stomach distress because it's very known for causing stomach distress.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I just came across one recently, actually. It's a patch. right? Interesting.
Here we go again with the damn patch.
Damn patch. You're just going to be patches up and down.
I'm trying to feel good. I've got vaginal cream on my face. I got patches all over.
Yeah.
I'm feeling great.
Yes. I don't know what this one does or that one does. And then you don't know when to rotate them.
Oh my God, I love it.
But they make an iron patch. So for somebody that doesn't want to take it orally, that's also a good option.
Can I take omega-3 instead of fish oil if I have a shellfish allergy?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, they make lots of options.
I never put that in my brain, but thank you for voicing that.
Yeah, krill oil might be okay too. I mean, the omega-3s don't come from shellfish, they come from fish.
They give me indigestion. I feel like I have fish breath after I have that.
So there's a brand that makes a kid version that's flavored lemon or strawberry.
See, I'm down for that.
And that's how I convinced my kids when they were younger to start taking fish oil, because fish oil is neuroprotective.
Okay.
Meaning I gave it to my kids on the off chance that they would get a concussion. It would help them prevent that, like the damage from a concussion.
Interesting.
Very neuroprotective. It's great for anti-inflammatory. So they make ones that are flavored so you don't have to be gross.
Right. It's so off-putting to me.
Yes, I agree. I can't take giant pills either. So the little kids ones are tiny.
Yeah.
So it's much easier.
I like that. The kids dose. We'll throw in some flavors.
Yeah, strawberry fish oil.
They make it for 2 gummies. Yeah. Gummies have been a new thing.
Yeah. Gummies are
they good or bad?
I mean, if you're never going to take a vitamin other than a gummy, it's fine.
Okay.
If you're like counting your macros, if you're quasi-diabetic, if you're like, the gummy tummy is a real thing. It's like, are we going to cover ourselves in patches and give ourselves a stomach ache from eating so many gummies?
We're so healthy.
So it's fine for some things, but don't take all of your supplements out.
Yeah. Well, Jen, I don't know if you had caught the earlier conversation that she said, is anything that helps frozen shoulder other than PT?
Yes, hormones.
Hormones.
Yeah, the lubricating fluid in your joints is hormone based.
Very interesting. Yeah. I could nerd out with you pretty much all day, Jill, but it's Monday. I got things we got to do.
Yes.
So please, if you want to reach out to her, valenmedical.com is where you can go. She was found. Oh, good. Thank you, Angela. I was worried about you. Thanks for checking in with us. Anything else you want people to know before we leave?
I think the gist is I'm happy to have any of these conversations.
Yeah.
Right? Whether we do it in a public setting or whether you call and want to have a 10-minute discussion, like if I can get these words out to the public in larger ways, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sex drive. Is there anything you can do to change it besides hormones?
That is a very complicated conversation, but maybe a topic for another
Absolutely.
session.
Please come back.
Yes, the answer is yes. Besides hormones, but it's more involved than a one sentence.
Well, that sounds like therapy also.
Yes.
And we ain't got time for that on a Monday.
No.
Today is National Rehydration Day. So whatever you're doing, do it with a lot of water.
Yeah, electrolytes and creatine.
Maybe that might help you out in that department. I don't know.
Fish oil in really high doses can help with orgasms.
Okay.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, just my Amazon cart just got full as my husband's ordering child's fish
He's
oil.
like a whole bottle at once, right?
It's like, babe, I got something for you. I'll cook dinner.
He's just opening up the fish oil capsule.
Oh my God, this has been a really fun day. Thanks for joining us. If you've got questions, we'll have Doc Jill back when she's Doc Jill.
Yeah, even before that.
I hope so. Please make this a regular segment because I think there are so many people that have questions all the time. And sometimes it takes a long time to just open your mouth or type it in the chat or say something. A lot of people are silent observers a lot and they need to get comfortable with a familiar face. So
or they need to wait until something resonates with them to want to participate, and that's fine too.
So please, if you've got things that you're seeing an abundance of, or maybe the same conversation, please share it with us because I love that. Okay, we've got a full week of shows. If you've not looked ahead, lemonadio.com is where we've got some fabulous ladies in the studio this week. We've got Lauren from Oplasis talking about mental health this week, just a little bit, and all the creative ways that we can do and deal with that. And then We've got Hank. We've got Valentine's Day. I don't know what you're doing for Valentine's Day. Galentine's Day on Friday. We've got an activity for the Hyannis Library. So we'll be over at Barnstable Brewing for a fundraiser. It's going to be a good time. Saturday, we're going to be over at Press Ahead Coffee, and we'll be doing just a regular old Valentine's bingo, giving out hearts and prizes, and bring the whole family for that one because that's noon to 2. So some daytime activities. I feel like it's such a hallmark holiday sometimes that people forget about just connecting with the people that they love, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a bunch of chocolates.
Right.
Do something nice for yourself, please. And
avoid diabetes.
that's all. That's all. One day at a time, Jill. One day at a time. Thanks and have a great day, everyone. Take care. Oh my God, right? Not the diabetes again.
Oh my God. It's the day it starts.
Exactly.
I guess I didn't need my glasses.